Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Daily shaves. I'm trying to keep up with Chris over at IamCDB. Guy's firing more videos out than I am at the moment, I think. I don't know. But I'm going to be using a cream that I've used before. This is sort of I was actually tagged in another second chance video. Now, I got mixed results with this stuff. It's readily available over the pharmacy or counter or supermarket, wherever you go. And it is Nivea Sensitive Shaving Cream. Looks like that. 0% ethyl alcohol. Now, I'd be pretty upset if my shaving soap or cream had alcohol in it for any reason whatsoever. I don't really see what the reasoning is behind it. Fair enough with the splash. But it says what does it say? The 5 signs of skin irritation. And then we've got a little picture on the back here. How to use it, put it on your brush, smash it on your face, and away you go. Now, where is it? Use wet brush, lather up, or massage cream directly on your face, blah 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 blah. What's something else? What else did I read? There we go. Burning, redness, dryness, tightness, and micro cuts. So there we have that there. I think that's what this is trying to prevent, or help you prevent. Now it comes in a sort of metal tube, which is quite nice because it's recyclable, I believe. Instant protection. Now, obviously it's got a plastic cap on it. You screw the cap off and it looks pretty much like that. Straight out, first time use, that's what it looks like. Now, I squirted some out and then I've fixed it up. As you can see, I've got a bit of OCD with things. I've got to sort of squeeze them gently and stuff so they don't end up all squished. But you know, people that squeeze from the middle of the toothpaste sort of thing, that fucking does my head in. It really does. What dick, I know, what a fanny. Right, so I made mention, I don't know whether I mentioned it in my video or not, but I made mention that I was going to try some different types of lathers. And today is going to be the Paul H. Films lather. I haven't mentioned it straight away, but you know because I've called the video the Paul H. Films lather. Now, Paul Humphreys, over in Wales, top bloke, really nice guy, makes probably the driest lather on YouTube, one of the driest lathers I've ever seen. He just sort of mixes it in the bowl a little bit, slaps it on his face and has a shave. And I watch his shaves and I see his end product and I'm like, fuck, he gets great shaves. And here I am for 20 minutes lathering and get nicks and, not nicks, but little weepers here and there all the time. Generally probably my technique, pushing too hard and all that sort of thing. He does have a little bit of time in terms of shaving on top of what I've got. But top bloke, really nice guy. And I suppose I'm sort of getting on it. Chris over at IamCDB's been mentioning it as well. The lather doesn't need to be a super voluminous, shiny, glossy lather to get a great shave. It's a preferential thing that I like to do, that I really enjoy doing. I enjoy making the lather, I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I love the feel of the brush, the feel of the lather on the face, that sort of thing. It's a feeling thing for me, and that's why I do it. Now I'm using my Wolf Whiskers green apple brush today, with the fluting on the bottom, and a 25mm Ultra Fan Black Wolf knot. Not available anymore, you can't get this knot anymore. So I'm one of the very few that probably have one. I don't know how many are out in the wild. They don't come up, I don't see them in buy-sell trades very often. So I'm going to start with a reasonably dry brush. You can see the tips are sort of stuck together a little bit, but it's pretty dry. I popped my cream into my Saponificio Baracino shaving grail bowl, like so. All wooden, beautiful, beautiful bowl, does a great job, and I'm just going to whack straight in with the brush. This isn't something I normally do. I don't normally lather in a bowl or anything like that. It's not my thing. I'm not very good at it. God, I'm smacking the shit out of the bowl here. Right, now I'm just going to put a little bit of water in, because Paul does add water, he just doesn't add a lot. As you can see, that's starting to whip up a little bit. I'm trying to be gentle so I don't smash it into the side of the, so I don't ding all my bowl and my brush. The good thing with that sort of coloured handle is you don't really notice scratches and stuff on it. I notice more so on dark coloured handles, blacks and or silvers and things like that, where you really see the scratches. But on these sort of coloured and lighter colours you don't really notice it. Right, I reckon that's pretty much, I reckon that's where Paul H would be. What do you reckon? I don't know, I'll maybe just dip it once more. Am I dipping too much? I'm going to stick with it at this one. I'm going to whip it up a little bit, and I reckon I'll be at the old Paul H lather consistency. It smells like really nice shaving gel, not shaving gel, but really nice hair gel that I used to use when I was a kid. It's got that sort of Nivea thing going on as well, obviously. But, right, there we go. The Paul H lather looks a bit like that, I think. Nice and dry, nice and thick, nice and pasty. Works a charm for him. Let's see how it works for me. I normally go straight in with a bit of a swirl. And I think that's pretty much what Paul would have. If anything, it's probably a little bit more voluminous than what Paul has. But this is really dry for me. I mean, I'd be dipping my tips in here for 10 minutes. Tips, not tits. That's a really dry lather for me. But I'm going to give it a bash and just see whether I notice a difference. Because like I say, Paul never really gets me. He has the odd shave that's shit with a new razor or something like that, and he gets a lot of weepers and things. He'll get a bit of redness, a bit of blood and things like that. But on the whole, with the lather that he does, he seems to get a great shave. So you can see how sort of dry that is in the brush. Well, I'm hoping you can. You can see how dry it is on the face. It's very, very dense. Now the brush, no. The razor, the carved Christopher Bradley razor, back to the aluminium one. I've got a second use Permasharp vintage blade made in the UK. And here we go with a Paul H Films lather. That's rinsed off easily. Jack from the virtual groom room, if you watch this, mate, I'll send you a message. I did try to get photographs of this razor, of the anodizing on the corners. I can't get it, mate. I just can't get the camera to focus on this fucking Samsung. Excuse the language. Not that you've not heard me swear before on the channel. Certainly very, very thick, but it could just be this cream, but it is just, you can see how thick that is, how dense it is, and how dry it is. Quick flick in the water, you've got a crystal clear blade again. Right, let's just going to empty the sink out of it, because it's one thing about this cream, it's like a couple of other things I've used recently, it leaves a bit of soap scum. I just want to get rid of that because I don't want my sink covered in it. It's a pain in the ass. Just wet my hands. Obviously, this cream I'm not expecting the same sort of residual slickness that I would get from a good quality artisan, or even Mitchell's Wool Fat, or even Williams Mug Soap really. I have been challenged to use Williams Mug Soap as well, or I'm being challenged, I'm not sure. From Johan, I think there'll be one coming out, but nice scent. It's not quite as, for me personally, I don't, for me personally, that one's for you Ken, if you watch Shaving and BSing, fucking hates that. For me personally, it doesn't give me the same sort of shave as a really nice artisan. It doesn't feel as nice. Doesn't feel as nice as Gillette Pure shaving cream either, this one. But first pass, got me pretty close. And here we go. Pretty good, I must say it's pretty good. And this cream, as I also said, isn't in the same league as some of those high artisan soaps, those quality artisans, you know, that it's just not there. But I'm getting a great shave from it with this underhydrated, thick, sort of dense lather. And I have to say, the more I'm sort of painting on it's starting to thin out a bit. Let's just grab the rest of the stuff out of the bowl here, I might as well use it. Lovely. Certainly no irritation, that's for sure. I'm not getting any burn from the soap, from the cream. Does it feel like I'm getting a better shave? It feels the same, it doesn't really feel any different, which really highlights the fact that your lather works for you. What way am I going there? I'm just going to go a little bit against the grain here. It's certainly, it feels like it's got a little bit more slickness, and this stuff isn't super slick, so use something really slick and put it on drier. I would think, I'd like to think you would get maybe a bit of a more protection in terms of that thick slickness. Gym Kid Sports, 10% off shoes. Certainly that's a lot of soap scum. Oh look, 2 weepers. Now, I'm not going to blame that on the shaving soap or the cream, I'm going to blame that on the blade because I had weepers last time I used this blade. and albeit fantastically smooth. It does tend to give me a few little weepers. I think because it's sharp, it feels so smooth and not sharp, like a feather. But just a little bit too much pressure and it'll punish you. Like most blades would really. But just going to, there's just a little bit there. That's it. I think, to be fair, that's a pretty good shave. And using a really dry lather, it didn't take me long to mess about with the lather. I didn't really mess about with it at all, hardly added any water. A few little dips to the tips. And other than that, I got a great lather. It worked. It worked very well. It didn't work any differently to my normal lather. Now, if I use a soap, which I will do as well, I'll try this with a soap as well. With a cream, it's a little bit harder to make a Paul H lather, I think, because the creams are generally quite wet already, so they don't need a lot of water anyway. And if you do add a little bit, it can probably overhydrate it. But that is still, for me, by my standards, I'll just pull the rest of the soap out of the knot. That's a very dry lather for me. Still a nice shine to it, but that's really dry. But it worked well. Apart from those two little weepers on my neck, everything else feels great. Feels like I've got a lovely close shave with pretty much no irritation. And if that was Jim Kidd's giving me another 10% and then another 10%, that'd be good then, 20% off. For those of you that don't live in Australia, Jim Kidd Sports is a bit like Sports Direct in the UK. It's like a warehouse sports shop where they sell the same stuff that you can buy brand new in a shop for 250 bucks. You'll get it in there for 150. I've never quite known why, and checking on the stuff, it's legit. It just, I always look for like things like seconds or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure by law over here you can't sell seconds without notifying the person that you're selling seconds. So I'm pretty sure they're all brand new. I don't know how they can discount them so much and how they can make money off it when everyone else is selling them for $100 more. And that goes for pretty much everything in the store apart from merchandise like Manchester United stuff or Man City, Liverpool. That stuff's generally the full price that everyone pays, whether you're in Jim Kidd's or Rebel Sport or online, doesn't matter. Right, they're not even that bad, them weepers. I've got a little red mark here. I don't know whether it's going to be an ingrown or not. That's a fantastic shave. Really impressed. Now I'm going to finish off. Now, one thing that IMCDB or iLather, it used to be when I used to watch him, Chris over at IMCDB. This is his thing. This is what he uses. He doesn't use it, I don't know if he still uses it every shave, but when I watched him back in the day, back in sort of 2016 and 17 up to 2018, before I stopped watching, Thayer's was part of his daily diet of shaving. It was Thayer's all the time. This is my favourite Thayer's medicated. It smells like, it smells like clove rock. The boiled sweet. Good squirt of that. This burns a little bit. It's got alcohol in it. Just a light tingle. Lovely. Oh, but that's the same. If you don't like the dentist, or you've been to a dentist and you smell the dentist, this reminds me of the dentist, this smell. It's got that, because I don't know why cloves so prevalent in the dentist. I would imagine, I think they used to use clove oil for toothache and things like that back in the day, because it's sort of antiseptic and an anaesthetic at the same time, I think. Don't quote me on that. Right, the cream was Nivea Men Shaving Cream Sensitive, 0% ethyl alcohol. Beautiful. The brush, or the bowl, I'll do the bowl first, was my Saponificio Varacino shaving grail. All wooden construction. It's a two-piece bowl. Got little nodules there. It's got banana leafing on the inside. You can see all that and it makes a great lather, but it aerates the lather too much for me. When you do a lather like that, spot on, doesn't matter because it's thick and dense, it's not going to get hairy. The brush was my Wolf Whiskers Green Apple. This has got a Becky top and an Odyssey bottom with 7 flutes, I think. 2, 4, 6, yeah, 7 flutes. It's just a beautiful brush. I really enjoy this one, and it's got a lot of backbone. It's great for head lathering, great for face lathering as well. It's just got heaps of backbone, lots of scrub, but absolutely no irritation or scritch from it. It's really, really good. The razor was the carved Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium, and as you can see there, you can probably just see all that soap scum. That's the shit that was in my sink. It does stick to it. Doesn't happen with every soap and cream, I can assure you. You will come across some like this, generally mass produced and chemicals in it that do it more than anything else. But that's just the luck of the draw, really. It doesn't affect the shave, and you can wash your sink, but it's just another thing you have to do, isn't it? Thea's Witch Hazel medicated clove scent, brilliant, cracking shave. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and try out a Paul H Films lather. Catch you guys next time. Cheers.